Hello everyone, this is Yael from Yael Alchemy, and I'm here to bring you the weekly twin flame message for the week of April 22 to the 28th. And first of all, happy Easter everyone. I did post my Easter messages on Facebook and Instagram, so if you haven't subscribed to my Facebook page, please do so. Just search for Yael Alchemy. And my dog is coughing. Are you okay? I think he is. He has a collapsed trachea. Okay, because he's getting old. Okay, he's turning 12 this year. Anyway, he's okay. So, as I was saying, I also have an Instagram feed, I guess. Is that what you call it? So just search for Yael Alchemy, and I would truly appreciate the follows, because I'm sort of new there. That's why I got into that crazy adventure past couple of weeks. Okay. Anyway, this Monday I feel is going to be a very important day. It's going to be 4/22/2019, and you all know that the number 22 is a master number, but this is especially so, especially when it comes to numerology, because when you add all the dates, 4 is 22, and then you have the number 22, and then you have the 2 from 2019, and then the 19, and all that 19 it amounts to 10, and then divisible by 2, that's 5 2s. So you have 5 2s on one hand, 5 2s on the other hand. 5 is the number of change, okay, and 2 speaks to your intuition, a deepening of the intuition, and moving forward in this change. And I feel that this change is going to be beneficial for all twins out there, in one way or another. Okay, so just be conscious of that and see what Monday will bring. Okay, so let's get on with the reading. At the bottom of the deck, of course, as always, I've prayed over the cards and shuffled them. Oh, yeah, I gave a reading to Scammer because he has such a hard life, and he wanted to know why. It's quite unfair to call him Scammer, but for security purposes, of course, I won't use his real name because he has since stopped that. And basically, it sometimes amazes me because when I do give readings, I often don't know what you'll look like, save for your names, what your circumstances are, save for the little tidbits that you tell me. But more often than not, the message that is channeled through me just really applies to your situation. And I mention Scammer because in the reading, I was talking about the karmic influences of his parents. And he wanted to know why there was generational poverty in their family and all that. And somehow that came up in the reading. Of course, as I was channeling, I didn't know if what I was saying truly applied, but I usually just go with it. And he did confirm that everything that I said there was right. So again, I just mentioned that because when you let spirit work through you in these channelings, they really hear what they need to hear, especially if it's a blind spot for them. Okay, other people consider card reading a party favor, a party trick, and I don't do that. And you can get the energy of the ones who want readings. That, hey, you know how to read cards? So why don't you? It's just curiosity. It's not truly seeking the answers. And for me, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, and there. So you have to ask seriously, not as a party favor or just because you're curious to see what the hit and miss rate is. Okay, so anyway, back to the reading. At the bottom of the deck, we have here the Three of Cups. And like I said, I had this impending feeling that Monday is a very important day. Perhaps you won't see it straight out. It's not going to be as obvious. But there will be changes possibly happening behind the curtain that will ultimately lead to this energy, one of celebration and communion and connectedness, togetherness. Okay, and look, and this is because here we have the Ten of Wands, but the Ten of Wands here, coupled with the Three of Cups, this only speaks that we are very close to the goal at hand. And while this man is carrying all his wands here, the picture is not limited to the burden he's carrying, unlike other decks. And I was guided. I asked which deck to use, and this was the deck that I was given to use in this reading. So here, closer to the goal, there's just a little few steps there, and he's reaching the tower. Now, look at this. The tower in itself, whether this be symbolic of, let's say your goal is to reconcile with your divine masculine. Look, the tower is bloodied also. His destination is bloodied also. So these are casualties. Both the divine masculine and the divine feminine have suffered their own injuries, so to speak, while traversing this very difficult and challenging journey. But it's at hand. That's why there's cause for celebration. Very near, and something is coming to a close. That's why the 2, it's the two sets of 5. Five for one twin, 5 for the other twin. They symbolize change. Okay? And here, this is being close at hand means that you're ready to leave in a huff. All those, even surreptitiously, but you can see here, this little boy is really carrying those swords in the dead of the night with such glee on his face, because he's leaving something that no longer serves him, and he's outgrown it. Okay, and those are symbolized by the swords that he's left behind. And this is a time of rest now. Rest and healing, but it's coming across to me as more of rest because of this burden that you've carried for a while. Because it's like somebody else will be picking up the slack for you. Okay, and that's what the Five of Pentacles is saying. This is a for better or for worse card, but you're going through it together. Whereas before, you were going through it alone. So there is a companion in sight, and hopefully that's going to be your twin. Okay, but as it applies to all other aspects in your life, the burden won't be so difficult to carry. The days wherein you were carrying the burden alone, they're nearly over. Okay, so let's look now at the divine masculine. I'm sorry if my voice is cracking. Sorry about that. It's been Holy Week, and for the past couple of days I haven't been speaking, and that's because here during Holy Week it's really quiet, unlike other people, and I make no judgments if Holy Week is a vacation time for them, but in our household, in our family, it's really meant to look inward and to be quiet, to find whatever messages there are for you in silence. And that's why my voice is still a little rusty, so excuse that. Anyway, for the Divine Masculine, we have the King of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Tower card. And then we have the Alchemist. This is very interesting. And I'm picking this up as good news for the twins. Okay? First of all, you have the King of Pentacles. And so all this is happening in 3D, in his real life. It's not something, remember, we have accompanied the Divine Masculine in his journey. First denial, then accepting it mentally, conceptually, until trying to decide what to do. And here now, in 3D, in real life, he makes a choice. And the choice that he makes is to leave this situation that he used to be so fond of, so familiar with. But now, because he has tapped into his feminine side, look, he's heading towards the fullness of the moon. Speaking of the moon, past 2 days, 3 days, because I think it was 3 days since the full moon, that was a beautiful pink Libra moon. Okay, and that also speaks to changes. And I'm not going to the astrology of that. I'm sure you've read the articles and you are familiar with the astrological sign of Libra and what that imparts. But in any case, look at this. He's now looking towards the fullness of the moon because he has he was able to activate within himself his aspect of the divine feminine. So now it's like when you vibrate with the same frequency, you can pick up all those frequencies that are similar, like a radio, a CB radio, I guess that's what you call them, and you're trying to look for somebody on the same frequency. And since the Divine Masculine has activated that, most of them anyway, has activated the Divine Feminine in them, he can pick up this frequency and he can listen to his intuition more and respect that and respect the advice and respect what he truly feels without the need for succumbing to limitations being put by the patriarchal paradigm. Okay, wherein he could not do this because it doesn't look good on the outside. He has to be this way because that's what society dictates. Anyway, so here doing this in the real world, okay, leaving something that has truly meant a lot to him. And you see here that the shades. Well, number one, what this card is saying, look at the hues of blue. Okay, this is Isis at work, and Isis has been instrumental in bringing back the Divine Masculine to life. That's what she did with Osiris. Okay, and look, Divine Masculine now wearing a red cloak. Standing in for the root chakra. He has tights and a flag that's yellow, and yellow is the solar plexus, and he is well on his way. The flag is not yet being waved because he's still in the process of exiting that previous life. The flag is not yet being waved, but the yellow in it, this corresponds to his solar plexus, which means that he's now, with the help of the Divine Feminine, with the help of Isis, and Isis is also called Mother Mary, if you want to go that tradition. They come by different names, okay, depending on their incarnation, but it's the same deity. Okay, Divine Masculine, top tapping into his own personal power, the power of the solar plexus, and embracing that. However, this flag is not yet raised because he's still in the process of extracting himself from the old. But what is clear here, because here, look, this extraction, it's going to be like pulling off a band-aid, fast, unexpected. Well, unexpected by those around him. It's taken him a long time to decide on this. It's taken him a long time to turn his life around, or just, it's like if you've been sulking in a darkened room for a week, a month, and you're just depressed, and suddenly, all of a sudden, somebody opens the curtains and you are bathed in sunlight. That's the same thing. And this will be sudden. This will be shocking almost to him, this leaving this situation. But this, because he's realized that in 3D, okay, that, look, personal power, see all the yellows there, personal power, and then you have here the exercising of that free will. Divine masculine finally realizing, hey, I can do what I truly want to do, and I have the tools to do all that. And he couldn't do that. Whatever it was that his soul was calling him to do, and that his that urge that he felt towards you that he couldn't act upon, he couldn't do that before because of all these external restrictions, all these some of them were because soul contracts were still playing out. Some of them were because legal contracts were still playing out. But here, he realizes that he can do something about it. And this is the shock and awe. This is the shock and awe tactic that he's going to employ. Okay? And let's look at the card here. See, same, magician. The alchemist, the magician. Except in this card is represented by the playful ravens here. And they're perched on the tree of life. They're playing here with the pearls of wisdom. And what this card speaks to is synchronicity. Okay? And synchronicity has played a big role in this decision of the divine masculine. And it's like he has been cynical, to say the least, in their journey towards their divine feminine. But this synchronicity, sometimes it's undeniable, and it reminds me of a thread on Reddit. Okay, and it is an enjoyable thread. You might want to subscribe to it. It says, "What are the odds?" That's the title of the subreddit there. What are the odds? And that's what's been happening to the divine masculine. He's asking himself, what are the odds that after this, that this still happens? Or that just as I was thinking of her, because it reinforces. And sometimes that's the way their higher self speaks to them, because it's like poking them, okay? Giving them a nudge, because they're too busy doing what they have to do and really not inclined to sit under a tree and go Buddha to figure out the meaning of their lives and why their lives are there. Okay? So that's how Spirit speaks to them. And this synchronicity has played a big part in this event happening in the real life of the divine masculine. Okay? Now let's move on to the divine feminine. We have here the Hierophant. We have here the Prince of Wands. We have here the Queen of Swords. And we have here the Nine of Wands. Okay. Has me a little bit stumped. Well, the Hierophant card. Okay, because the Hierophant card speaks of tradition, but also it speaks to divine guidance. But in this case, it's like the divine feminine is in the position of the Hierophant now, and she's leading the way, which also reminds me of something that I watched on Holy Thursday. I was watching the Jesus Code, and the last episode of it was the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. Okay, and in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, which wasn't included in the Coptic Bible, Mary Magdalene actually preached, but this was after Jesus died, but this was suppressed by the apostles who were, the theory is that they were very jealous of her because she had a special place in Jesus' heart. But the divine feminine right now is under the auspices of Mary Magdalene. Okay, it's like we represent her aspect. Okay, because Jesus was the divine masculine, Mary Magdalene, his divine feminine, and the divine feminine actually preached and taught what Jesus, the legacy of Jesus, so that it continue after his death. But this was suppressed because of the patriarchy, right? And the apostles wanted to establish the church. And while the church has done a lot of good and bad, that's how history went. Okay, and Mary Magdalene was relegated to the sidelines, almost forgotten, except that this past few decades it has resurfaced. Okay, and that all coincides, like I said, synchronicity coincides with the rise of the divine feminine. And here the divine feminines are assuming the position of being the teachers, yes, of being the teachers and of meeting the other people in almost non-traditional ways, of telling them and making them learn about the whole ascension journey, their whole being multi-dimensional beings, that there is more to life than what you see, smell, hear, taste, feel in 3D. And I say that because this is the card that comes next. And this is the Prince of Wands. Now, the Prince of Wands, he comes charging with that dynamism, with that passion. And it's almost as he does this without fear of repercussion from traditional sources. And this kind of reminds me of the Easter greeting that I posted on Instagram. Okay, because I also share that in my regular timeline on Facebook. And I'm sure because my parents are very strict Catholics, and as are all my relatives, they are heads of their lay ministries, certain religious groups, and all that. I'm pretty sure that a part of them thinks that that post of mine was rather sacrilegious. But it doesn't matter. It's true. Okay? And I say that because that is the attitude that the divine feminines right now are espousing. Okay, as they go through spreading this, because she can now move forward in this, because divine masculine is catching up, and she trusts that wherever she finds herself, because this is either doing your mission, going out and helping others awaken, okay, she's doing that unapologetically and unabashedly. Okay, so there. And look at this. Below this card for the Divine Feminine, we have the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, not only is she decisive, she actually reminds me of Daenerys. Okay, and quite excited. The next episode's coming tonight. Well, tomorrow, tonight, whatever. In the next 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours, okay? Because she does what she has to do in order to help other people move forward with the truth. And like I said earlier, she does this unapologetically. Some will feel hurt, because of course there's bluntness, and then there's just truth, facts that are not editorialized. Okay, and that is where the compassion comes in, because being a queen, she's not as unfeeling, because this is a queen that dispenses tough love. And that was the reading. She's still the same energy as the reading 2 weeks ago, which, yeah, I recall now. The title was Tough Love. She's still dispensing that. Okay? And so she's still in that frame of mind, because that is what the situation calls for at this time. And then we have for her here the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands, this is a card of expectant waiting. Okay? Waiting, and yet guarding what has the gains that she has already made. And you can see there is a sliver of the pink moon behind her, the pink Libra moon. And she's carrying one of the wands while the rest of them are standing already. And she's waiting for her divine masculine, who carries that last wand. So it's very close. Look at this. And that's why here, celebration, close again, very close. And all that is synchronicity. So what is the Divine Feminine fighting for, defending, and being all strong for? Okay, well, here's the Two of Mirrors, two swans, the Two of Cups. And again, she goes back to love, okay? Because that is who she is. And because of her resilience, her strength, and some of them, like I said, this card, she's almost hardened. But yet, because her compassion, her ability to put herself in the shoes of another and feel another's pain, what they're going through, that's what's kept her soft inside but tough on the outside. Okay, and that's what has enabled her to keep her stance while all this was going on. So we have the Two of Mirrors here, love being the motivating force of the Divine Feminine, and here looking forward to that other swan, which she has mated for life. Well, in the case of twin flames, for lifetimes. Okay? And I'm going to pick a card now in the middle for both twins. Okay. See, the Empress. Now, the Empress symbolizes fullness, symbolizes fruition of the journey. And I think this pertains to the second wave of the twin flames. There's another wave of reunion coming about, and I think it's very, very close. Okay, because here the Empress, this means the harvest. Okay, and this is the Empress and not the Emperor, because the Empress is she's very well, motherly. It's sort of if in terms of warfare, the emperor would be the general in conventional warfare. The empress would be using guerrilla tactics, softer tactics to make sure that everything is in place and it's not so obvious. Okay, it's something that it's the same way that she carries a child in her womb, that while on the outside it just looks like a bump, there are miracles happening inside her belly. Okay, so this is the unifying energy of both twins right now, that there are things that are happening underneath the surface that are going to be beneficial, which is why I also said that, remember, maybe Monday will be the start. I'm not sure. But what I am sure of is that this undercurrent of the master number and of change, it will be felt. It will be very important in the days to come. Okay? So anyway, since that, well, that's what I have for you as far as the reading is concerned. Now, I do have some exciting news. Because it's Easter, I'm going to hold an Easter week sale, and because we are all out in support of awakening the men, look, they're very close. There are others who have reached this point, there are others who need that last push. For Easter week, advanced Rashiba sessions will be half off. This is like the biggest markdown that I've had since I started. It's going to be half off for men and divine masculines. So they don't have to be divine masculines, because we're trying to help the men connect with the feminine, the female, and the divine feminine aspect within themselves. For this entire week, if you purchase an advanced Rashiba, only for the men, okay, that's going to be 50 off. And you can do that to help your twin flame. In which case, because some have concerns that, are we going to do this healing for him without his permission? Before, I always ask permission from his higher self. If I'm doing Rashiba for someone else who hasn't directly gotten the Rashiba session, okay, and most of the time it's given because it's beneficial. But in the event, there were some, I do refund in full, okay, because I can't do the service, right? Anyway, this session will be half off for men and divine masculines, and this will be a 60-minute distance healing session that will help activate his divine light, anchor himself to Mother Earth, open his passageways for divine union, and turn on the love aspect of his chakras, and of course, ignite his sexuality with divine light. Okay? And that has to do with this Kundalini rising. Okay? So there. Do consider that, especially if your divine masculine or your beloved, maybe your karmic beloved, your soulmate, needs to walk in the path of divine light. Okay, so, and then another Easter offering for Easter week only. I have the Rapid Romance reading on an introductory price of $25. Okay, and this I'm going to answer 5 questions. It's going to be in the format like the format I used for the weekly message of the divine masculine and the divine feminine last week, and this is going to be they're template questions. You can't pick your own questions for this reading. Later on, I'll offer customized questions, but for this introductory promo, the questions that are going to be answered are: what does he or she feel about me? How does he or she view our relationship at present? What does he or she want from me at present? What action will he or she take towards me next? And what message does he or she have that he or she can't say yet? Okay, and of course I'm going to deliver this in a YouTube link that is unlisted. So if I were you, do take advantage of this offer. Okay, and you can buy as many as you like. Just tell me if you want to while it's on sale, and you can just space it out and claim it later on, and I'll just take note of that. Okay, but Easter's once a year. I don't even give promos this Christmas, but I was feeling good because of the energies and how things are turning out for the divine masculine, and I believe that we have to give them all the support that we can give at this time because they're on the brink of that breakthrough. Okay, so that's what I have for you, everyone. Again, happy Easter, and I hope this helps. Take care. Bye.